Shalom, shalom, family, and hopefully everyone is having a wonderful evening. You know, family, as I study, as I research, as I run across information, stuff like that, it becomes more and more evident that not only do these people really know who we are, it's evident that they're not going to change no matter what. But the beauty of this is, you know, not only seeing the information and all that, the Most High have left so much information. He have left so many clues, so many breadcrumbs. So like that, if you really want to see it, you'll see it. You have to, again, take out the indoctrination, remove, the religious ideology, and just let the book speak. The book is, the Most High is very detailed. With that being said, let me start off by giving all glory and honor to the Creator of the universe, to Yahsara'al, Yahweh, and to His Son, Yeshua HaMashiach. I'd also send out a special greeting to the brothers and sisters that's out here trying to teach and reach the children of the diaspora, and also to the Gentiles that are gathered to us in sincerity. To you guys, I say shalom. As you see behind me, family, I have a map of what they call Africa in the Middle East, which we know the term Middle East was a phrase that was coined in the late 1800s to try to separate the land of what they call Israel or Canaan from Africa, especially by Egypt. Even though Israel or the land of Canaan is on the African tectonic plate. So again, as you see, I have some of the ancient names and the modern names, and it made me think about the video I did on Genesis chapter 10, the Table of Nations. But anyway, I got Libya, Egypt, Ethiopia, and again, their ancient names put Mizraim, Cush, Canaan, right? And also I have Niger, Nigeria, which is the Igbo tribe, Limba, which is in South Africa, and Spain and Portugal, and over here, and I'm going to make this, I'm not going to get into too much on this, but again, for those that know, Spain and Portugal and the connection to the island of St. Tome and Principe. And like I say, family, once the Most High is wonderful. He's covered every aspect of it, and it just makes so much sense listening and hearing so many scriptures of why the Most High, when He judged this place and He judged these people, it's no wiggle room for these people, and it's just not the Gentiles that have done these evil things. It's my people that refuse to let go of religion, and they see it too. They see it as well, but the hatred and that Stockholm syndrome that they have, for the oppressor man is crazy. Again, like I said, because when we bring out this information, it's not about skin color and ethnicity. We didn't make it like that, but that is an identifying marker, and this is how we can bring out this information to let those who are really seeking right information, let them know not only who the real people are, but getting in line with the Most High's will, and at the same time let us know where we are in this thing. What is the timeline? We're trying to be as close to the timeline as possible, and the way you do that is put in the right information, the right people. But anyway, let's get some scriptures, because like I said, we're gonna run this down. Family, try to make this make sense. And I want to start off in Zephaniah. Let's start off with Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 3. chapter 3, and verse 10. Okay, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my supplants, even the daughters of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doing, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. So I really want to just focus on verse 10, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. So beyond, and that word beyond comes from, let's do this here right fast. That word beyond comes from the Hebrew word, right? Hebrews 56:76 and Ebar. Again, like I said, which goes back again, the fourth of the Ebar, table of nations. It's a lot. But anyway, that word Ebar means beyond, to cross over, to cross, beside, the other side. But on the other side across the rivers of Ethiopia, right? So the Ethiopian River, right? Something like that. So just draw that river. So on the other side of the river in Ethiopia shall, give me a second. Okay, even the daughters of my dispersed shall bring my offering. So on the other side, so the daughters of the is a plant of the dispersed shall bring his offering. Coming from here, right? All these places. So from on the other side of Ethiopia. What's on the other side of Ethiopia is, again, Nigeria, Niger, Slave Coast, the Gold Coast, Benin, Sierra Leone. I mean, there's all these other nations over there. And again, like I said, Nigeria, the Iwe people, South Africa, the Igbo people, and then we got the Iwe people too. I forgot. We got the Iwe people over here. Anyway, and Iwe means sheep, right? Iwe. Again, this is why it's dangerous even to listen to some of these camps that keep on trying to tell you that these other people are the people. Again, I'm gonna deal with that probably in a later video, but again, it's not, the mass deception, man, goes deep. It goes deep. Because a lot of our people that's in the so-called truth will hold on to doctrines because they just don't want to say, man, maybe I was wrong. Let the word of the Most High be true and every man be a liar. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. We'll get on that one. We'll get on that later on down the road, Most High willing, in another video. But anyway, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, right? So on the other side, across from Ethiopia, the daughters of my dispersed shall bring my offering. Like I said, it's just very telling. It's just very telling that people have read this. They have read this. I mean, they see this, man, and it's amazing. But again, it gets a little deeper. Let's go further. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 11. Isaiah chapter 11. And let's start off at verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh, or the Lord, shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed. Again, gather his dispersed. We just read that again. We just read that in Zephaniah chapter 3. The dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So again, so in Israel, right? So Israel, we're not talking about Judah, we're going to talk about Israel for a second. So he says he's going to gather Israel from Assyria. Assyria's up in here. Egypt, we got Egypt right there. And from Pathros, I would say Pathros would be up in here somewhere. Okay. From Cush, we know Ethiopia. And from Elam, and from Shinar, so Elam, I want to say Elam and Shinar. Again, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So, you know, but do your own due diligence, and you'll see where I'm going at. Israel. Now, the people that's in the land now, they did gather, you know, some people from Ethiopia. They call the Ethiopian Jews. They gathered them. But for the rest of the people, they coming from, they say these people came from Spain and Portugal or Ukraine or whatever. But that's not what the scripture says. Even to the point where the Yemenite Jews are in here. Whatever, that'd be like Hamath, not Hamath, Shinar, Elam. You know, what come from there? And when you look at these people, they are so-called black. I mean, it's weird how these people can't see this. Even when you look at Afro-Palestinians, the Afro-Palestinians look like Negroes. And again, it's just weird how people, they act like they can't see this. But they see it. They see it. But the evenness in their heart, you know. Again, they're mad with us from bringing out this information, but they're not mad at the people that have done the atrocities of enslaving the people, stealing the names and culture and identity and land and murder. They're not mad at those people. They're not mad at those people. They're mad at us from bringing this information out. But again, like I said, it's very telling. Like I said, but you know, the Most High said he's going to gather his people from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. And then, again, the second time he's going to gather them from, you know, these lands. Again, now, you know, Judah was spread throughout the four corners of the earth. But the people that's in the land claim to be Jews or Judah, from the tribe of Judah. They only grabbing in people from Europe, European nations. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. But anyway, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's go to the book of Acts. Let's go to the book of Acts. I want to go to Acts chapter 13. Acts chapter 13. Excuse me. Acts chapter 13. We're gonna get verse 1. Acts chapter 13 and verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon that were called, Niger, again, we're going to break that down as well, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manian, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul. So Barnabas and Simeon that were called Niger, right? So let's get this. Let's get this. So they're called Niger, right? So that's G of Greek 3526, which is they say Niger, but let's go to open this up. Let's open this up, and it's pronounced in E G E R. So let's see what the blue letter says. All right.
Strong's G 3526. Niger.
Let's get it one more time.
Strong's G 3526. Niger.
So according to the blue letter, this says that it's pronounced Niger. But they keep telling us Niger. And it also means black. So Simeon, Barnabas and Simeon that were called Niger. And you find it weird also that there was this part over here used to be called Negro land. Why do people change all these names? They're trying to hide. They're trying to hide this information. Again, that's why they get so mad. This is why they demonize us as a people who are bringing out this information, even to the point where they're trying to criminalize the words we say. Because again, they don't want this information coming out. So beyond, on the other side of Ethiopia, there's a people the Most High says is going to gather from these areas. There's a region over there used to be called Negro land. And then we have Niger, the Niger River, the Nigerians, which again have an oral tradition along with the Limba that say they are the descendants of the children of Israel. And also when you look at their cultural practices, they have the cultural practice that mirror the Old Testament laws. But again, you mean to tell me these people keep acting like this information is not out there, or are we just making this up? And remember now, the bulk of the slaves actually came from these regions. Again, we're not even talking about the people that's in the Congo and other parts. So again, there's so many tribes in Africa that have the oral tradition and the culture, and fit not only that, but fit the prophetic nature that the Most High said the children of Israel and the children of Judah was going to go through. Again, I'm not saying that through our captivity that when we mix and mingle with other people, that the seeds of us are not there and they're not the people. What I'm saying is the bulk of the people is where the book says. Not where any wicked Negro that want to make it his own doctrine, but we're going to go about what the book says. Because they have that mentality is just as bad as the adversary saying that the Ashkenazi Jews are the people. It's just as bad. It's just as wicked. But again, like I said, I don't want to get off track. That's a whole other discussion and lesson for a later day, when the Most High, says. But anyway, like I say, it's just amazing, family. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And again, like I said, we're going to read again. And it says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch, right? Salat, certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon that were called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Madian, which were brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul. But let's go to Cyrene though, because again because again all this started to just, as you go through this down this rabbit hole, things begin to make sense why these people change names and locations and remove books out of the Bible, you know, but the Most High is so perfect in the way he lay out things. It's really, these people really have no wiggle room. But anyway, I'm gonna read Cyrene, Libya, right? Cyrene, Libya. Also sometimes anglicized as Cyrene, was an ancient Greek colony and Roman city near present-day Sahat in northeastern Libya in North Africa. So you mean to tell me, again, this place was a ancient Greek colony? Again, I'm gonna make this make sense. It starts to make more and more sense why these people remove certain books, like say from the Apocrypha, right? Because most people cannot make the connection between what they call the New Testament and the Old Testament. But it just jumped out at me. Especially when you hear the indoctrination that comes from people in religion, right? I'm gonna make this make sense, family. All praise the Most High if you can get it. I'm gonna go to the book of Acts. I'm gonna go to the book of Acts, back to the book of Acts. And we're gonna go to chapter 21. Acts chapter 21 and verse 37. And for you 30, let's go to 38. No, let's go to 37. For you guys that study, you already probably know where I'm going at. It's probably gonna jump out at you. Right? So Acts 21:37. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, may I speak unto thee? Who said, can thou speak Greek? Now this is when Paul was brought up on charges, right? You know, so now they're trying to bring up Paul on charges, and Paul is, before he, go through his trial, he was asking the chief captain, can he speak to him? But you notice, Paul asked, hey, can I speak to you? And he said, can thou speak Greek? Now let's go to verse 38. Art thou now that Egyptian which before these days made an uproar and led out unto the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? But Paul said, I am a man which is a Jew of Tarshish, and the city of Cilicia, a citizen of no mean city, and I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people. So he asked Paul, can he speak Greek? But then he said that Paul was an Egyptian. And again, like I said, you hear these breakdowns from people, but then when the Most High wants you to see things even deeper and clearer, it begin to make more sense. First of all, he wouldn't mistake, if Paul was a Greek, he wouldn't have called him an Egyptian. And it just got me thinking. And I'm going to go somewhere. Let's go to Galatians. Again, this is why I say these people have come up with all these different doctrines, man. And they don't realize that it's the Most High is, there's going to be no wiggle room for these people. So let's go to Galatians. Let's go to Galatians chapter 3 and verse 28. Again, this is what the Christians like to use. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For all are all one in Christ Jesus, or Yeshua HaMashiach. And now, for you guys that really don't get it, when I say what I'm about to say, it should resonate with you because we've heard this terminology. It was said then, from that perspective, and nowadays it said, in our days it said with the same spirit using different words. All praise the Most High. Think about this. If you're a rich Negro, if you're a poor Negro, if you're a light-skinned Negro, if you're a dark-skinned Negro, if you're old Negro, if you're a young Negro, if you're male or female, you're still a Negro. It's the same premise for those that got the spiritual eyes. See, we just read that in the book of Acts, that there was prophets in Simeon and Barnabas that were called Negro or nigger. And we read also that there was one from Cyrene. It's a black. They were called black. They were called black. They were called nigger. Let it resonate. Let it sink in. They were called nigger. See, when these people read Galatians, they trying to tell you that this was talking about everybody. But if you notice, when Paul talked to the chief captain, he didn't ask him, was he Egyptian? I mean, he mistaken he was from Egyptian, but he asked him, can he speak Greek? But hold on. The Ethiopians were living. Why he mistaken for an Ethiopian? Or when we go to the book of Galatians, why he say, well, there's not the Egyptian? Why didn't he say there were not the Ethiopian? Because they wasn't in power. The Greeks were in power. Just like in the United States, the Caucasians in the power. And they don't see young, and like the scripture says, he don't care if they're young or old, male or female, rich or poor, you still a nigger. Paul was saying the same thing. These people in your captivity, they don't see that. They don't see Jew. They don't see Jew or Greek or Hellenized. They don't see bond or free. They don't see male or female. Feel me? So what you have to do, you have to be one in Christ. The same thing now. See, even this is why it's dangerous for our brothers and sisters that keep on talking about, they keep dismissing all people that's over here. Because these people, the oppressor don't care about them people being over there in Africa. They don't care about, because when they come over here, they get a wake-up call. It's the same premise. They get a wake-up call when they get over here. Just like when they're over there, How they kiss these people butt. But then they want to treat us. But again, it goes back to, let's go back. Let's go back to all praise the Most High. For those that can see it, they can see it. I mean, you know, those that can't, you know, you got to pray about it. But anyway, let's go back to Isaiah. Let's go back to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 11. Chapter 11. I'm going to start off at 12. We're going to go down. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Now remember, I mentioned, and we're going to run this down. We're going to run this down. Just be patient. They like to say that the Ashkenazi Jews and the Sephardi Jews was expelled out of Spain and Portugal. Wish we know that, but they was expelled to out on the Saint Tome. They was expelled to out of Saint Tome. This makes sense. That's on the west side. Where did the slaves go to? Where did the bulk of the slaves came from? Here. And where did they go? They went west. But hold on. Let's make this make sense. Verse 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversary of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Let's make this make sense. This is why there's, just like I showed you that there's not a Greek, there's not a Jew nor Greek, no male no female. It's the same thing he's saying. Well, this man don't care about if you're young or old. You a nigger. It was the same thing that was going then. Just like the same thing. He's saying the day's gonna come when Ephraim and Judah are not going to be at odds with each other, because that's what's happening right now. Just like what happened then. The northern kingdom wouldn't deal with the southern kingdom. The southern kingdom wouldn't deal with the northern kingdom. The southern kingdom will call them Gentiles. The southern kingdom called the northern. That's why Paul was talking to. He was talking to them. That was the Greeks he was talking to, the Hellenized Jews. No. I may be free on this side, but we still the same. Same thing here. You think they come over here and get reality check. And the sad thing about it, those that are conscious, they say, because again, they come over here and some of them get a reality check and they start to realize, hold on. The same thing we running from over here, we running from over there in our country or in our lands, we come true, we face the same thing in America. We're still the same no matter what. No matter how these people try to separate us, that's why the Most High, let's get it. Verse 13, the envy of Ephraim shall depart, the adversary of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. That's what we're doing. See, this is, and again, it goes back to what I'm saying. This is why I say a lot of even our brothers that so-called inner truth with that 12 tribe chart, which I'm gonna have to address. Again, I've addressed it a while back in the video, but this is the same thing. Because they would rather put out a doctrine that appeases them in their mindset instead of letting the word of the Most High be true. Again, I'm not saying that there's not some of these people that are not part of our offspring true intermingling in marriage. But some of these guys just try to totally wipe out or just ignore our people over here, according to what the scripture says, that have an oral tradition, that have the cultural practice, that fulfill with the biblical narrative what the book says. Not with some Negro want to just come up and pull out his butt, but what the book says. But it's the same thing. These people do not care. They get reality shit when they get over here. They don't care. The people don't care. You still a nigga. They don't care about you being the northern tribe. They don't care about us being a southern tribe. They don't care about us being rich. They don't care about us being poor. They don't care about us being light-skinned. They don't care about us being dark-skinned. They don't care about us being athletes. You still a nigga. It's the same thing Paul was saying. He said it in a different way, but he was getting there's not a Jew, nor Greek, nor bond, nor free, nor male, nor female. We're all one in Yeshua HaMashiach. We're all one. We're the same people. We're the same people. And ironically, our ancestors, our forefathers, were called Negroes. They're called black. And know what they call us now? Call us black or Negro or nigger. They don't care nothing about all that. But we all who want sitting Yeshua HaMashiach. Well, the northern or southern kingdom, we are still one in Yeshua HaMashiach. This is the same principle, though they get it. But anyway, like I said, family, it was when, the more you study, the more you see it, and you begin to realize that these people see. That's why, again, it's such a push to demonize. Not only demonize, but to the point where they want to take the words and criminalize the words that we say. Because they really get it. But it began to make sense why the book talks about, not taking from and adding to, and also talking about neither a liar, nor a fornicator or murderer shall enter the kingdom of heaven, because that's all these people do. And that's all they do. Anyway, family, with that being said, I just want to share this quick message. Hopefully it makes sense. And again, study to show thyself approval. Don't believe nothing I say. Hopefully the Most High can open up your eyes and your ears, and things begin to become clear to you. With that being said, as usual, peace, love. Shalom.